In the face of accusation, Tate's got a knack for shrugging them off. It's like a game that's already won, always moving forward and wearing his dismissal like a crown. Hello and welcome back to another amazing video. Today this video is going to crackle Tate's accusations that cause a stain on his reputation. But Tate prepares himself to face the storm of each accusation. So let's go to explore how he faced all the situations. Do you know who's been making quite a splash lately? One and only, the infamous Andrew Tate. Man, this guy knows how to grab attention and stir up controversy like no other. In the present day, he's become a quite popular figure in the social media-driven world thanks to his outrageous stunts and attention-seeking behavior. It seems like every single day he's involved in some new accusation or scandal. And let me tell you, he's got this uncanny ability to engage his audience with those over-the-top statements he keeps throwing out there. Love him or hate him, you can't deny that he knows how to keep people talking. Here we are yet again with another day and another accusation surrounding him. This one took place during an interview. Recently, Andrew Tate found himself at the center of a storm as he faced specific accusations during an interview with the BBC. It all went down during a high-stakes interview with none other than the respected BBC. The accusations thrown at him were no joke. They are ranging from misogyny to some seriously terrible crimes like rape, human trafficking, and exploiting women. But here's the main point. Tate wasn't about to let any of it stick. With a crafty grin and an air of confidence, he effortlessly shrugged off every accusation. It was like watching a master illusionist at work, waving his hands and making everything disappear without even breaking a sweat. A clever move, right? But here's where things took a wild turn. In the face of mounting evidence and serious investigations by Romanian prosecutors, Tate decided to double down on his defense. He boldly claimed that he was a force for good, merely following the guidance of some higher power. Now that's some serious audacity, guys. Throughout the intense interview, Tate didn't waste a single second in casting doubt on the credibility of those who dared to speak up against him. In actuality, he knew very well how to defend himself, whether he is in public or in the on-air interview. After that, he dismissed the stories shared by the women involved in the ongoing investigation, going as far as to label one anonymous woman who had confided in the BBC as, quote, imaginary. Can you believe it? He even had the nerve to suggest that she was a made-up character created by the BBC itself. Talk about throwing shade. This interview marked Tate's grand return to the broadcasting scene since his release from house arrest back in April. Meanwhile, he had been held by the Romanian police, so you can only imagine the anticipation surrounding his appearance. As the controversy continues to swirl around him, people are left wondering how this high-stakes game will play out. Will Tate's smooth tricks and claims of being a, quote, force for good hold up in the face of scrutiny? Only time will tell. He stated, "I'm doing you the favor as legacy media, giving you relevance by speaking to you. And I'm telling you now, this Sophie, which the BBC has invented, who has no face, nobody knows who she is. I know." Now here's where things take a darker turn. One woman bravely came forward and claimed that she had followed Tate to Romania. Interesting, nah? She also believed that he truly loved her. Ridiculous. However, her story took a disturbing twist. She assumed that she was forced into engaging in webcam work and even getting a tattoo of Tate's name. It's a heartbreaking situation, and her account has become a crucial part of the ongoing investigation in Romania. Her name is Sophie, and she's assisting authorities in their pursuit of justice. But here's the thing about Tate. He's not one to take criticism lightly. When concerns were raised by school teachers, senior police figures, and rights campaigners about the influence of his views, he simply brushed them off. You won't believe how Tate responded when he was asked about the organizations that were holding him accountable for the rise in attacks on girls and harassment of female teachers. Quote, "I have never, ever encouraged a student to attack a teacher, male or female, ever." He added, "I preach hard work and discipline. I'm an athlete. I preach anti-drugs. I preach religion. I preach no alcohol. I preach no knife crime. Every single problem with the modern society, I'm against." With an air of arrogance, Tate simply dismissed their concerns as absolute garbage. Can you imagine? Instead of taking a moment to reflect on the potential impact of his views and actions, he casually brushed it off like it was no big deal. It's like he completely ignored the real-world consequences that his words and behavior could have on vulnerable individuals. I mean, seriously, how can someone be so dismissive of such serious allegations? He's not willing to take any responsibility or even acknowledge the possibility that his influence might have played a role in these disturbing incidents. It's a troubling stance to say the least. But here's the thing, actions speak louder than words. And as if that wasn't enough, Tate conveniently refused to acknowledge his comments made on the now-defunct Hustlers University website. On that site, he shamelessly boasted about his approach to relationships, saying his goal was to manipulate women into doing whatever he wanted. He even described the process of making a girl fall in love with him, only to exploit her for financial gain through webcam work. It's a chilling revelation that he conveniently tries to sweep under the rug. "I've never said that," he said, even though you won't believe what Tate had to say when confronted with his own controversial statements from the past. It's like he pulled a classic taking out a context card mixed with a sprinkle of "it was just a joke" defense. I don't know if you understand what sarcasm is. I don't know if you understand what context is. I don't know if you understand what satirical content is, he said, defending a YouTube statement purporting that a woman's intimate parts are the property of her male partner. Let me fill you in on what went down during the nearly 40-minute conversation with Mr. Tate. It was quite a roller coaster for interviewers. He couldn't help but point out what he called my little pieces of paper that I brought with me. According to him, the interviewer was spouting off silly things and should go do some research. Talk about being dismissive, right? Now here's where things get interesting. In a display of his deep mistrust for traditional media, his team actually filmed our visit and interview for their own use. And at the end of it all, he dared to claim that you people had promised to ask only sanitized questions. It's like he wanted to control the narrative and avoid any tough questions. Guys, guess what? Mr. Tate wasted no time and took to social media, promising to publish his own version of the interview. And true to his word, he did just that shortly after. It's like he couldn't resist getting his side of the story out there as quickly as possible. In the end, I would like to say to all my drama enthusiast fellow, let's take a moment to reflect on the never-ending cycle of rumors, stunts, and controversies surrounding Tate. It's like a wild ride that keeps us entertained and hooked, no doubt about it. But let's not lose sight of something important. Actions have consequences. As we've witnessed throughout the saga, Tate's dismissive attitude and controversial past are not going unnoticed. The big question remains, will he finally face accountability for his actions? Or will he continue to slip through the cracks, evading responsibility? Because one thing's for sure, this story is far from over. Thanks for sticking around till the very end. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and share it as well to stay updated with our daily content.